We have more new video to show you this morning from London, Ontario, where the city is cracking down on Occupy protesters.
Let's go. Really?
Please gather your belongings and vacate the park by the northwest corner. Thank you.
As we've been telling you, police took action early this morning, taking down tents, grabbing up the protesters' belongings, and clearing out the campsite that's been in Victoria Park for more than 2 weeks now.
We were here for this. We were here for this. And then they're putting it in the garbage like it's nothing. I don't understand. I don't understand why.
Some of the sounds recorded early this morning. We're going to hear now from one of the people who was in that park when police moved in. Eric Sheppard is with me via Skype in London. Eric, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Obviously, you've switched locations. Where were you, Eric, when police moved in?
I had actually just settled into bed. I got a phone call not more than 20 seconds later that said that the police were there in force, and so I made my way down to the park as soon as I could.
And when you got there, what did you see?
There was many police officers, many police cars, a number of ambulances lined up, and as well, sadly, garbage trucks. A number of people's personal belongings were being loaded into these garbage trucks. Most of the tents and other structures, as well as personal property, were allowed to be taken by those individuals, but anything that was left unclaimed was essentially either confiscated or destroyed.
Now, did you get any warning that police were going to move in and dismantle the tents?
Well, there was, of course, the warning, the ultimatum of the 6 p.m. deadline to remove ourselves. Now, of course, 6 p.m. came and went, and there were many, many people there, close to 400 people gathered, and that did not happen at that point. It did not also happen at 10 o'clock when the bylaw preventing presence in the park took effect. But it did, of course, though, happen as a midnight raid, largely as a surprise, unfortunately.
And we're looking at the pictures and have been talking about it throughout. We were hearing from our reporter there, Eric, that there were no arrests, even though I know some people had been prepared to be arrested. Is that your understanding as well? No arrests and no violent encounters?
That is true. There were no arrests last night, and effectively what happened is after the structures were removed, a number of the people sat down in the path, preparing to be arrested. That did not take place. We were simply surrounded by police officers, and we stared at each other for a good several hours. The bylaw is no longer in effect that prevents us from being legally in the park, and as such, to my knowledge, they are still there at this point.
And back in on the property and can stay until 10 p.m. again tonight. I'm wondering what you think of how, I mean, as far as I'm aware, the city had been warning that it was, coming to the end of its patience over this and was going to look at action. But I'm wondering how you think it was all handled with no arrests and no violence, seemingly as smoothly as could possibly be under the circumstances.
Well, on the one hand, it is very nice that there have been no arrests, there has been no violence, and it was a fairly orderly process. On the other hand, I'm very disappointed that the lines of communication have been closed. We had a two-way dialogue going with the city and with the police force, and we were under the impression that we would be able to continue that, but unfortunately that no longer seems to be the case. Unilateral police action was the result.
Is that, do you think, though, where it stands, now that this action has been taken, is that affording another opportunity to restart negotiation and discussion with the city?
I am hoping so, yes. I myself have certain proposals that I'd like to make, and as well there are other peoples within the group that also wish to make proposals. We are now at an impasse, of course. We've lost the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure at least that we've built, and so we need to begin again from scratch. I'm hoping that we'll either be able to find a new place that we can set this up, or that we can begin to move forward in some other way.
So Occupy London doesn't sound like it's finished as far as you see it.
By far not. If anything, this is the end of phase 1. Now begins phase 2. We have a lot of work to do, a lot of problems to solve, and we've grown community around this occupation. People who have just met more than 3 weeks ago are closer friends and allies now than you see in general in life. We have built an infrastructure through which we can converse in a safe space, We continue to want to leverage that and to use that to discuss these issues, discuss together, and find solutions to the world's and London's problems.